In this video, I'm taking over 25 minifigures and making them 100 times bigger, with each one getting more and more cursed as we go along. The last one is literal nightmare fuel, but this first one is the upscaled minifigure, and it's pretty normal. Okay, I take it back. There's been a murder. Yeah, it's actually so cool how well they were able to recreate every single part of a minifigure, including like the parts that normally come together, like the arms and the hands. You can take the arms off this thing. Well, you can technically take them off in normal minifigures, but you can put these on with Technic there, and there's a lot of friction, so it can actually hold a pose, unlike some of the later ones we'll be talking about. Even the hands have posability all the way around. This guy can literally just fit in his hand, and I got the shape down perfectly for a sort of trapezoid-shaped torso, which is surprisingly complicated on the inside. They have all those gears there to kind of add the friction to the arms, but I don't know what all of this is. The Technic nonsense continues as we go down to the hips that connects right nicely in there. Actually, upside down is this part, but then the legs just have this perfectly rounded shape for the kneecap and a tiny little foot there, and they connect right in here too, and also have quite a bit of friction that they could go almost all the way back, just like a normal minifigure. Can't go all the way back. You can sit, stand, kneel if you put the legs backwards, and do the splits, and that's all before even adding his head on. This thing is super weird with all this curved snot nonsense going on, with my favorite part being the shaping on the neck. There's a little bit of hollow hole here that you can stick on the neck of the minifigure, and of course it spins all the way around with a very satisfying spin sound. This is my oldest surviving mock. It's this Lego minifigure head with a door in the back that I made, I think, over 13 years ago. There's a hole in the back, there's this roof that opens up. It was like a storage container. And you know, the Lego's version is slightly better than mine, but I think mine also does the job pretty darn well. There's also this thing, which is massive. I can't even fit it all on the camera here. We've got 4 drastically different sizes of minifigure heads. And I think this one is the best one yet. It almost looks photoshopped in a way. And they didn't recreate the classic TD Bricks minifigure perfectly. There's not hair on this guy, there's a hat instead. I think it was just a little bit easier for them to recreate using this dome piece for the big hat that's actually the inside of a mech. And even then they didn't do it right. This is the newer hat mold with a kind of curved bill like this, and this is flat as a pancake. So that they used to make one, well, that's actually not flat. This is the one that's truly flat, that it should have had this hat or recreated the curve or something, because look at this looks so much more like it. But regardless, we can pop this on and have our guy sit inside there, piloting this mech onto the next figure. This is a Lego Daffy Duck minifigure, and this is a throwback to a parade float. It's already broken that I made for the CMF line. It's very dusty and it's definitely seen better days, like the entire front half of it is just missing. But I'm still so proud that I was able to get the mechanism working with the feet waddling like this. There's a bunch of shenanigans going on the inside with these gears turning these poles that kick the feet. It's very complicated. And then this guy is basically your upscaled version of the Daffy Duck minifigure with the bill, eyes, and black body, and creepily long fingers. Like, this is scary. It only gets more cursed from here on out though. This is little micro scale Bowser, which came in the Mario 64 question mark block set. And this is minifigure scale Bowser. This comes in a couple of sets, but I got it from the sweet Mario car set from Mario 3D World. Best part about this one is that you can drop literal bombs out of the back of it. But anyways, these are all well and good. I love how they use certain pieces like this masonry brick or these round tiles to capture the big man's likeness. But they pale in comparison to this thing, and this is the Mighty Bowser set that I stole from my brother. The shapes, colors, and details on this thing are immaculate. Like, look at his kneecaps. My favorite part's gotta be this weird macaroni shape all the way around the shell, and the shell itself is made with these new, like, cone-style pieces. It's so cool. I think it's supposed to have some sort of puppet functionality, so when it jumps, you can kind of see his legs move like that. There's some buttons on the side to move his head, and then I think my brother built this wrong, but I think you can also pop this out of. There's like a fireball that he can breathe. That's sad. There we go. I could spend the entire video gushing about how amazing this set is, but we have to drive on to the next one. I don't know if this should count, but to turn this rabbit costume minifigure guy big, I'm just using this creator rabbit set. And then this is probably even more of a stretch because it's not even a minifigure, it's just a Lego animal, Lego crocodile. We've got the crocodile set as well. What a combo. Here's some minifigures most of you know. We talked about names for this one on the stream, but I still haven't decided yet, so comment what you think we should name her. But anyways, I took this little mushroom guy and made a whole series of weird mushroom guys with it, including this guy. This is Giga Chadstrom, using these big fig arms to make him super strong. The back's a little cursed. I've shown this before, but it's very fun. This is like sticker paper on the top, a drawn on face, and he never skips leg day. I've shown this next one before too, but it's cool because not only is it a Dalmatian 100 times bigger than this guy, but it's also filled with 101 Dalmatians. Its stomach is hollow and can fit almost 100. I guess it's not all. I have the extras in here. But yeah, there's 101 Dalmatians in this guy, and he's fantastic. fantastic. I had to bring this guy back. They make all sorts of giant Star Wars ships and characters with the UCS line, but the only one I have is R2-D2. Look at this guy. I scored this bad boy at a shop Goodwill auction for only $20, I think, plus shipping. And this is the old one from like 2012, so that was quite a steal. It's got like weapons and guns and stuff inside that it can shoot out. I think these like open up as like their electricity. There we go, electricity teleprompters. That's not the right word. And he's also got a third leg that can pop out that he can ride around on, or he can suck it back up and retract it back into his body. But let's get back to some actual minifigures. This is Santa Claus from Series 8 CMF line, and they've also done a ton in the Christmas Village line, but they also made this Christmas, I don't know what this is from, but it's kind of a bigger version. It's definitely not 100, but I really like these fire pieces as his little mustache. Then Iron Man has an insanely giant version, way too giant and bad, UCS Hulkbuster set. I don't have that one, but I do have this one from Infinity War. This is the one that Hulk actually wore, and it's I would say about 5 times bigger. That's close to 100 though. It has this really fun karate chop feature in this arm. Another set I don't have is the Ant-Man Air Fort fight. That's such a cool figure. That was, I think, the first one that's kind of in the upscaled style. And then shout out to my boy Tommy C. Bricks. He spent literal months making this insanely huge Statue of Liberty mock with all the minifigure proportions and everything. I actually still have the mech we built for Chester kicking around. This is a 100 times bigger Lego Nutcracker that, does it actually, oh it does, it has a little lever in the back where I can crack nuts. Can I open it? There we go. Crack. I cracked his leg instead. I still think it's a very pristine build. Just like this guy. This is the Robot Repair Tech and Sparky, and of course we've built Sparkzilla as a giant version of Sparky that you can ride and use all the functions of the arm, the claw grabber, or the saw. And this was the first real mech we ever made. We can quick speed run through all the upscale builds in the Ville series that are sadly no longer with us. Robin's Research Station had a giant toucan on top. Cornelius's movie theater had a giant tub of popcorn. Ed crashed and sank a cruise ship like the absolute champ he is. Tom's homeless shelter Gobble was topped with a giant turkey. And finally, Mandy's house was a giant snowman, 100 times bigger than this guy. Also, if you still don't know where Garrett got the giant carrot in 23ville, this is your clue. And even Chip and Dale have their own giant versions in the form of their brickheads in their Rescue Ranger uniforms. Thankfully, I don't have this put together anymore, but the Elf on the Shelf mech I built last year was truly terrifying. It was based off the original toy, with super long, lanky arms and claws and And while building that, I ordered these pieces from the upscaled Harry Potter and Hermione minifigures, thinking I could like erase the pattern and just use this nougat as something. I ended up going with a different solution, so I just have these now and nothing else from those sets, so that's great. They make it terrifying to dig through my skin-colored heads bin and just see them peeking from the bottom there. They also made a really cool upscaled classic pirate minifigure, but they made it a Lego house exclusive, which just made everyone mad. I, like many other, wasn't able to travel to Denmark for the limited time this was on shelves to buy one set, even if it was really cool, and so now I'll either have to pay the crazy aftermarket prices or just accept the fact that I'll never own it, so thanks Lego. I was trying to make the giant alien that ate Denny a 100 times bigger version of this, but ended up looking a little bit different. I gave it way more eyes, so I made this guy kind of like after the fact. This is 100 times smaller than this, which is 100 times bigger than this. I think it makes sense. I've shown this bad boy off in another video, but it is still very freaky. I can't decide which order these three are in terms of creepiest to least creepy, and I'm saying 3 because I lost the Groot minifigure. I have a Groot minifigure, I just could not find it for the life of me, so sorry about that. But let me know what your ranking is for these 3 with the most to least creepy. So of course we've got Grogu, Baby Yoda, the child. Of course he's got this beady, all-seeing eyes, a mouth can open, these ears that are kind of fun. You can make him really sad. I really love how well sculpted it is all the way around. Look at that. And he's even got his little ball that he loves to play with. I had a ball of a time trying to find that Groot minifigure and I couldn't. This thing is looking a little scrappy. We've stolen many pieces from him to build like Morgan Freeman and other things among that. So just as a scale comparison, this is about the size of the Groot minifigure. Maybe he's a little bit taller, but that's 100 times bigger. He's also got those beady, unblinking eyes. That is terrifying. They've also made like a Venomized version of him. I don't know what that's from, but that's even scarier. And for the big Buzz Lightyear figure, I don't think this one's that scary, but the general consensus online is that this thing's just terrifying. So what do you think? This is the thing. It looks like just as like does in the movie, and this has this really cool windscreen that's exclusive to this set. The wings go up and down. He's got his laser thing, and the 3 little buttons. Buzz Lightyear, Star Command. I think this is a really fun set. People just don't like it for some reason. And last but not least, the entire reason I wanted to make this video was to show off the giant version I built of Rocky the Horseman. This is a minifigure from the Fabuland line back from like the 80s or something. It's kind of like Animal Crossing before Animal Crossing was a thing, with these animal villains villagers basically living in this colorful town with all sorts of specialized pieces and these nightmare-inducing minifigures. But I decided to make it even worse and make this massive final boss to 24ville. I tried to capture every shape and proportion as well as I could. These feet are a little bit curved on the sides, and then we've got the legs. Then he's got this little weird midsection where his legs can bend out, and both these legs can individually bend. Oops. I don't think I actually ever showed this in the 24ville finale, or like what he would be kicking or anything. He punched something. He punched the spaceship and he bent it over to pick up Garrett and the time machine, but he never actually used his legs. Those are built into the side of the walls here with these Technic bricks on the inside, so there's 2 layers. I made the walls, it's weird to call them walls. I built the side of his torso double thick so that this Technic brick could be on the inside, and you can kind of see a better look of that over here. And the legs are also connected together to give them a little extra stability. His torso is pretty straightforward. It's this weird cutout. It's so weird, but I recreated like his weird little things there. I guess I don't have the red dots that he has as the pole on the inside of that. I didn't think that was necessary because I have that on the inside. But anyways, I really love this build for the shoulders. You can kind of see it slopes down, and then there's like a circle casing around his arm. And I was able to recreate that. We've got the slope down here, and then the circular casing around this very skinny noodle arm. Not quite as skinny as the minifigure has, but it's connected with a couple of illegal building techniques, actually. That must be a record. We've got one to connect the arm to the body, and then another to connect the 2 fingers to face opposite directions. So that's great. It's able to fit a minifigure in his hands, but he has 0 friction. I need to take some notes from the upscale minifigure set because it was a pain working with this in the video. Like, you can't even pose him to hold his arm up in this position. It always falls down due to gravity or off. I had to hold it in place with sticky tack or fishing line or even just my hands that I had to mask out in a couple of scenes. It was a pain. But we can take out our frustration by literally ripping his head off and see there's just this round turntable that it's connected to there, with this Technic axle to give a little bit of stability that goes in the hole on the bottom of these plates. The head took by far the longest. I actually had to steal some blue pieces from the blue spaceship and some gray pieces for the gray spaceship because this was a whole lot of curved slopes. All of this, all the way around, is just solid curved slope. Like, look at this nonsense on the back. He's got a full head of hair, I guess. I don't know what I was doing there. There's a few gaps and stuff I wasn't able to finish, but let's see if I can just take the side off this whole thing. Yeah, look at this. That's the kind of building technique nonsense that I have going on here. Can we take off more of the sides? Look at that. Just this solid thing. It's just like one big cube. Oops. What does JL stand for? And then his nose is made with a bunch of curved bricks and this curved plate that makes his cheeky little smile. His nostrils on top there are made with the bottoms of turnstile plates. And then his beady little eyes have little shines on them to match the figure that are made with the same sticker tape paper that I made Giga Chadshroom with. I was not sure which direction to put his little swoop of hair there, and then his eyebrows are connected to the side there. Let's see with no eyebrows. I had him like super sad at the end, like with the eyebrows up. Of course, he's angry normally, but with no eyebrows, that looks kind of weird. And finally, his ears are connected with these hinge plates to get this angle that they're at. But there you go, 25 minifigures across different themes, all upscaled to be 100 times bigger, give or take. Let me know which one is your favorite in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to make my sub count 100 times bigger as well. And watch one of these videos next to see some of the stuff I talked about in this one.